From Angelfish to Plecos, these are the 15 best mates for your Severum, starting off with their own kind. Other Severums can be kept in the same tank with minimum to no problem at all. Other aquarists prefer this as they're relatively easy to maintain. They're very sizable fish and only get bigger as they age. So a tank that can hold at least 75 gallons should fit in around 4 or more fish. This can also help limit any hostility. Another tip to keep aggression at bay is to buy the Severums young and to choose individuals of different breeds to prevent this from happening. However, you may want to prevent them from hybridizing if you're considering breeding them. Now, we're going to get on to the next fish. Oh yeah, most fish mentioned in this video are available in live aquaria and imperial tropicals. You should totally check them out using the link in the description. Next up, we have the silver dollarfish. This peaceful South American schooling fish has a rounded shape and a silverish color, hence the namesake. Although they may have some orange color on their anal fins. This 6-inch fish would have a lot of activity in the middle and upper layers of the tank, which would create a lot of movement. If you're considering getting a school of these shiny individuals, it's best to get them in groups of about 5 or more. If you want to house them with your Severums, you're going to need a relatively large aquarium of at least 75 gallons. Keep your fish pals comfy by maintaining the water at about 75 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit and a pH of about 6 to 7. Alright, let's call out the distant cousin of the Severum Cichlid, the Oscar fish. These species of fish also hail from South America and are cichlids. They come in a variety of awesome color patterns, and they generally get along pretty well. This behemoth tank mate, however, has a relatively aggressive temperament, and a lot of their interactions would depend on their personalities. Oscars are carnivorous, so these fish need a balanced diet that includes meaty foods like earthworms. They grow even larger than the Severum Cichlid, up to 10 to 14 inches, although I've seen much larger. Oscars never eat any tank mates that are too large to fit in their mouths. A good home for an Oscar fish would be at least 75-gallon tank with a temperature of 68 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit and a pH of 6 to 7.5. Also known as the roseline shark, Dension Barbs are colorful Indian fish species that are quite active in the tank. You might want to keep your temperature in check as Dension Barbs are more on the room temperature water side. They prefer temperatures around 60 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit, which would keep everyone in that aquarium comfortable. They're peaceful, so aggression towards other fishes is unlikely to happen with their tank mates. If you want to get these peaceful swimmers, it's best to buy them in a school of 6. The 5th fish on our list are pearl gouramis. This fish would fit right in the same environment as they enjoy similar water conditions as the Severum Cichlid. Pearl gourami is a peaceful fish with a beautiful reddish color, pearly spots, and a dark horizontal line from their eye to their tail. One interesting feature of this fish is the feelers located in their pelvic fins, which move around to explore their environment. This tropical fish species hails from Southeast Asia and does well in community tanks. A group of 4 or more would fit well with the Severum. Note that oftentimes the Severum is so mild-mannered, it's not uncommon for the pearl gourami to become the boss of the tank. Either way, they're a great combination to try. Our 6th candidate are Plecos or the Plecostomus catfish. Plecos are bottom feeders that suck onto rocks and driftwood, and while they're generally peaceful, they can be territorial toward their own kind. Plecos are excellent tank mates for Severums, but do your due diligence before getting them into the tank, as they'd have varying needs from other species, and some Plecos would require strong water flow or high temperatures. This South American fish spans 4 to 12 inches usually. The best size to get for the Severum would be a medium to large sized one. We've got an entire video all about Pleco species that you can check out. It's in a card on the top of your screen. One of the most popular fish species among aquarium hobbyists is the freshwater angelfish. These medium-sized South American cichlids are generally peaceful and would do well with many other peaceful schools of fish. Angelfish have a distinctive body shape and are available in a few different species such as the Altum angelfish and the Leopold's angelfish, which is considered to be one of the rarer species. The freshwater angelfish also comes in many stunning color morphs. Angelfish are varied in color and do great with Severum. Want to learn more about the breeds available? Check out the card at the top of your screen for a video all about them. Next up is the blue gourami or the 3-spot gourami. This fish is considered to be one of the most beautiful species in the hobby, but with that beauty comes a fairly aggressive nature. You might want to consider getting a small number of these fish for the safety of your other tank mates. Should you brave the waters in taking care of this Southeast Asian fish, note that they should be okay with the Severum, but other smaller species might be at risk. The Geophagus cichlids are a diverse group of South American cichlids that work well with the Severum species. They're known as earth eaters due to their habit of searching for food by sucking in sand. Since they forage in the sand, it's good to consider housing this fish in an aquarium with a sandy substrate. it's imperative to research more about geophagus fish before getting one, as they live in different water conditions and habitats. This way you can consider which species to get so that your geophagus can enjoy the same habitat as your Severum. Other than the parameters of their aquarium, the geophagus are peaceful and social fish that would pair well with the Severum. The Boesemani and red rainbowfish are just one of the many large rainbowfish species you may want to get as tank mates for your Severum. Large rainbowfish got their namesake for their colorful body and are pretty active in open water. Although they're larger schooling fish, rainbowfish are peaceful in their temperament, but before you buy them, it's good to consider the water chemistry preferences when housing them with Severums and other South American species. Larger rainbowfish prefer water temperatures in the 74 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit and neutral to slightly basic water chemistry. It's smart to take note of their size as well, as they can grow to around 4 to 6 inches during adulthood, and ensure that you have a larger tank if you house them with Severums. They combine well as schooling fish with your Severum as the centerpiece fish. Speaking of large schooling fish species, we got a whole video on that if you want to check it out. See it above in the card on your screen. The 11th candidate on our list is the Uaru Cichlid. This peaceful fish is a large South American cichlid known for having attractive neutral body colors. They would have a large black botch on either side of their body and by their bright red or yellow eyes. Compared to the Severums, the Uaru may require a pretty warm habitat. Tropical aquariums with temperatures from around 82 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit and a pH of about 6 to 7 would be an ideal environment for this tank mate. Next up is the kissing Gourami. And yes, you guessed it, this fish has a habit of locking lips with its kind. The shape of their mouth resembles a kissing gesture, but don't be fooled. It's not all romance with this species, as they can be relatively aggressive. These filter-feeding fish have a specialized diet, which means they can be kept with other small fish. However, your Severum may eat the small fish, but more on that later. This next tank mate is believed to be a hybrid of 2 or more wild species. This is the electric blue Acara. Though they are semi-aggressive, the electric blue Acara is an excellent tank mate for Severums as they thrive in the same water conditions. They also don't take up as much space as the Severums and only grow to around 6 to 7 inches. Both of these fish are considered gentle giants in the hobby, so this is a dream combo as long as you have a big enough tank. Next up is the Salvini Cichlid. This is one of the most gorgeous cichlid species in the aquarium world, but they can be aggressive, especially if they're breeding. Adult Severums can usually hold their own against these fish if they're provided a suitable environment to live in. The Salvini Cichlid may not be one of the most ideal tank mates to consider, but you have to make sure that they have plenty of space in a large aquarium, and you must provide them with plenty of caves and hiding spots. However, if they show some serious aggressive behavior, be prepared to rehome them. Here's an out-of-the-box suggestion: Bolivian Rams. Now this species is for more experienced fish keepers, but be careful with this fish as they are dwarf cichlids. Younger species are in danger of getting swallowed by larger Severums. Bolivian Rams usually hang out at the bottom of the tank, and you can keep them in aquariums as small as 30 gallons with a water temperature of 75 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit and a pH of 6 to 7.5. So you can keep several of these in a larger tank together with the Severums. Alright, now that we've gone through the list of ideal tank mates, let's go through a brief list of fish to avoid pairing with Severums. Number 1, the dwarf Gourami. This smaller species of Gourami is at risk of being fish food. Number 2, smaller tetras. Smaller bodied tetras are also susceptible to becoming fish food for the Severums. Number 3, highly aggressive fish. Aggressive species like wolf cichlids are a bad match for Severums as they can be vulnerable to attacks from aggressive species. Some experienced fish keepers can care for Severums with other aggressive species like Jack Dempsey's and the blood parrot cichlid. Number 4, African cichlids. Apart from their aggressive nature, African cichlids live in hard, basic water to survive, whereas Severums thrive in neutral or even slightly acidic conditions. Alright, here's a brief 101 on how to care and maintain for your Severum cichlid. Severums can grow about a foot long out in the wild, but usually grow to 10 inches in a home aquarium. They require a large aquarium of at least 55 gallons with a water temperature of 75 to 84 degrees Fahrenheit, a pH of 6 to 7.5, and a water hardness of 4 to 6 DH. Your aquarium layout should include plenty of tough driftwood and sand, as this fish may dig. It's best to avoid any live plants as they may consume it. Java Fern's the best if you want to try. If you're considering tank mates outside of our list, do consider medium to large size fish species that thrive in the same water conditions as the Severum. They're not usually aggressive, but it's best to get more peaceful species of fish. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, Severums are omnivorous, and variety is key in their diet. High-quality pellets are a great staple diet, but it's also good to consider more whole frozen foods like brine shrimp, bloodworms, and plant matter like blanched vegetables to keep your Severum cichlid healthy and encourage breeding behavior. And that's it for our list of Severum Tank Mates. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Or better yet, click the next video on your right for more tank mate goodness.